Hello, London. This is London. We are in London. We're in Hyde Park at Speaker's Corner. This is Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park. I've come here today because it is New Year's Eve. It is the eve of a new decade of this century that we call 2020 as we come up and count down in the next 3 hours. Over here we can see capitalism, blatant capitalism. It's fun for all the kiddies. It is fun if you can afford it. I'm sure the rides are very, very expensive. And I'm sure it probably costs a lot of money. And if you're rich, you can participate in all the rides here. But if you are not rich, you probably aren't here, and you definitely would not be able to afford to go on the rides. If you're on the dole, or if you're on basically average earnings, you cannot afford to be on the rides here. The Tory party most definitely did not get any seats in the last election. That was a fraud. There needs to be a recount. As we have noticed, some of the people seem to have disappeared from the TV screens, which we would very much so like to know where are they, because they should be behind their desks on the TV screens, but we do not see them. So we are wondering why they have disappeared. With World War III and the idea of what happened in World War II coming up, we also are quite worried about where they are. Jon Snow, for one, is one of the more famous ones that I don't see on the TV screen. We worry about people like Mr. Manson, Paul Manson, who used to be part of the Newsnight team. People on various shows and so on. We would like to know where they are. So this is election fraud. So we'd like to know what the police are doing about election fraud. What the Lord has told me to tell ye, all ye people who have taken over 300 seats that do not belong to you, you will be going to jail in the coming year, in the fruition of time, because what you have done is electrical. It is fraud. It is not your seat, and you should not be there, and this will be rectified. And this goes to anybody around the world. He just wants you to realize now that he's not going to stand for this, and it is going to change. On the other hand, I'd like to say to everybody, it would be better if everybody could participate in the activities and the festivities of this evening. But unfortunately, so many people are not going to be here because they cannot afford it. This is because we don't have the citizens' income. Now, if you want the citizens' income at over 500 quid per week, you are going to have to get into groups, you're going to have to organise, and you are going to have to make sure that your MP knows. Now, the fact is, at the moment, we've got over 300 MPs who are not actually MPs, who have actually robbed the real parties of their seats. So this will be dealt with in time. I don't know how the police feel about this, but we will find out as the law comes in. There will be a new law to deal with this, the Lord has told me. So basically here we are, we're in London, and all I'd like to say is Happy New Year to everybody. Have a great new year. Please try and get into politics. Try and find out what your MP is doing, because you should know what your MP is doing, because if you don't know what your MP is doing, they will do it behind your back, and the laws that they do affect you. And there's a lot less people on the ground than I really expected to see actually in London. So actually I'm quite worried about where the people are, because I would have thought there would have been a lot more people out than there is tonight. Especially the Queen's speech. I mean, the idea of having more and more concentration camps and death camps is very, very worrying, and we need to tackle that before we're actually dead. All right, cheers. Thanks.